Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. U.S. national debt has now passed $35 trillion. Five things to know in Bitcoin this week. Luckily, Bitcoin has rallied, guys, and that $70,000 Bitcoin is back in play. As of the time of this recording, you can see Bitcoin is slowly creeping up, slowly but surely, very, very close to that $70,000 mark. And hopefully we breach 70,000 by the end of the month. I know there are a couple of days left to the month, and so we're getting very, very close to that $70,000 level. I think what would be even better is if Bitcoin could surpass that all-time high, so $73,700 per coin. If we could do that by the end of July, a couple days away, that would be amazing, and it's not unheard of. That is a very, very practical, achievable goal, I think. But right now, some things to look at here. I mean, Bitcoin back to $70,000 for all intents and purposes. This is, of course, a psychological level, one of those full numbers. So can we see this happen? The weekly close did not disappoint, saving the market from a red candlestick, but continued momentum is now essential, says this article here. On paper, the situation looks promising. Miners are recovering. Macroeconomic signals increase favor for risk assets, and traders are betting on the end of Bitcoin's post-halving retracement. That said, the scope for flash volatility is here. The United States Federal Reserve will decide on interest rate changes this week, while Chair Jerome Powell can move markets in an instant with his press commentary. So, of course, this is, part of why we're seeing this too, are macroeconomic factors. Let's bring up the Russell 2000 here. As you guys can see, the Russell has been performing quite well. Let me throw it on the daily. This has been one of the, I guess we'll call it prerequisites for, the market to rally. Guys like the blockchain backer have said it. I know Rob Art has said it as well. Expansion in the stock market has generally translated to expansion in crypto for Bitcoin to keep rallying. Every single Bitcoin bull run, we've always seen a bullish stock market. So the Russell still, bullish. We can bring up the S&P 500. That is also fairly bullish on the daily. You guys can see we did see a bit of a downturn, but that could be reversed. And the NASDAQ, guys, also very, very bullish, getting up above former highs. And yeah, I mean, we're going to see green and red candlesticks on the daily. But ultimately, the trend, guys, is moving upward. That just bodes well for cryptocurrency. And, we're getting politicians in the United States promoting Bitcoin too. So is the narrative helping boost price, or, is it the other way around? Senator Cynthia Lummis proposes that the U.S. accumulate 1 million Bitcoin amid record level national debt. So going back to the debt, I mean, we've seen debt rise over the last, several years. Since inflation has really kind of kicked into high gear. We'll call it since the beer flu. But speaking at the Bitcoin 2024 conference, Republican Senator Cynthia Lummis of Wyoming announces that she will propose a bill to establish a Bitcoin reserve as a means of securing the value of the US dollar amid a record-breaking national debt. Establishing a strategic Bitcoin reserve, she says, would finally secure the dollar's position as the world's reserve currency into the 21st century and ensure we remain the world leader in financial innovation. Families across Wyoming and the U.S. are struggling to keep up with soaring inflation rates and record-breaking costs while our national debt reaches unprecedented levels. Now more than ever, we need to create a brighter future for generations of Americans by diversifying into Bitcoin and securing economic future. According to Lummis, the legislation will drive the U.S. government to accumulate 1 million BTC, or 5% of Bitcoin's total supply in 5 years. With a strategic Bitcoin reserve, we will have an asset that can cut our debt in half by 2045, Lummis says. The plan is to convert excess funds from the 12 Federal Reserve banks into a Bitcoin over a period of half a decade. So an ambitious plan? I don't know. This is the solutions, he says. This is the answer. This is our Louisiana purchase moment. According to data from the U.S. Treasury Department, the current national debt is sitting at a staggering $34.99 trillion. And Bitcoin is, as of the time of the publication of this article, trading at 68.4. So Bitcoin has slowly gone up. These politicians, these pro-Bitcoin politicians, are coming up with ways to, help try to preserve U.S. dollar dominance. We don't know, though, if it's going to work. Countries around the world are already making changes, big changes, like the BRICS partner countries. And more countries around the world want to join the BRICS nations. This one courtesy of Michael Branch here, guys. Now, Malaysia has confirmed that they have sent in a formal application letter to Russia, the current BRICS chair, expressing interest in either full membership or a strategic partnership. So these countries are not even coming in expecting membership. They're saying, okay, if you don't want to give us full membership, we are willing to negotiate and maybe form some kind of strategic partnership. Malaysia is looking to diversify its economy ties and reduce its dependence on Western economies, as many of these BRICS nations want to do. Anwar mentioned that the country is waiting for feedback from South Africa to move forward with the membership process. The BRICS group recently expanded to include countries like the UAE, Iran, Egypt, and Ethiopia. The plan is to create a multipolar world and challenge the current global economic system. Russia is backing Malaysia's bid to join BRICS. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov assured Anwar of Moscow's support during his visit to Malaysia. He said this potential membership holds substantial promise for both nations and shows our commitment to creating strong international collaborations. He had first shown interest in joining BRICS ahead of China Premier Li Qing's visit to Malaysia. Being part of the BRICS would give Malaysia access to financing and a political platform that isn't influenced by Washington. And I think, that is, the biggest thing that a lot of these countries want. They don't want to be at the mercy of the Western powers, the, Washington or London or what have you. Anwar has criticized America's role in the Israel-Palestine genocide, so there's the political aspect to it as well, and said that Malaysia and Russia both support a permanent ceasefire in the Middle East, immediate humanitarian aid, and recognizing Palestine as a full member of the UN. So lots to unpack here. Of course, BRICS, it bodes well for them. I think they are looking for strategic partners. Don't know if Malaysia would work for them, just based on what their prerequisites are, but it is good and interesting, I guess we could say, to see more member nations wanting to apply. And even though they want to apply, it's not a guarantee. The BRICS nations, probably at the beginning, they were probably more lax about letting countries receive BRICS membership. But now it's one of these things where, okay, we got to pick strategic partners. Who is going to help by benefiting the system? What do these countries have to offer? So I don't know. I guess we'll see how this all shapes up and what this is going to mean for U.S. dollar dominance, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. There has not been a shortage of builders on the XRP ledger. Smart contracts have been a pain point for a while, and then, they kind of finally made it work with new technology. Here's just a synopsis from Bull Run Wonka, okay? A lesson in blockchain history. Long ago, Ripple was working on smart contracts, and they were going to do it through Codius with CTO Stefan Thomas. This is when Vitalik Buterin was attempting to work at Ripple and actually slept on the couch of Stefan Thomas. Suddenly, Ethereum became a thing. Codius didn't utilize a token. The project was sidelined, or so we thought. But guys, the rest is history. Ripple quietly invested $1.4 million into Evernode to solve much-needed problems utilizing the Australian National University to develop and solve some of these challenges. Out of that investment, Evernode was spawned. Tokenized Codius 2.0 was created utilizing hooks, and the XRPL sidechain Zawa was launched to support the project. Today, we have the early version of the groundbreaking tech that works now, just like the XRP ledger did in 2014. Current dApps are limited and constrained. Evernode's ability to launch a new kind of dApp, each functioning as its very own mini blockchain written in any coding language, is a game changer. So this is where, the future is going. We do have more developers developing new types of technology. Of course, the Hooks Amendment developed by Wietse Wijn and his team there over in the Netherlands. They have been tirelessly working day in, day out to produce new technology for the XRP ledger. I say this, guys, because it's one of these times where, every little bit counts. We see the small advancements. We see, mini micro advancements here or there. A country here is working on this, or a country there is deciding to do this. Now, switching gears a little bit, not really. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. You guys decide. Crypto Hulk posting this for the XRP army. He is suggesting David Schwarz is a communist. And why he's saying that is because of this old article he found from back in November of 2013, where David Schwarz stated this: "What previous work are you most proud of? I would like to say that I'm most proud of the time I spent consulting for the NSA in 2001. It was an amazing experience and played a significant role in my decision to make cryptography my career focus. What are some of the down-the-road possibilities for Ripple?" And here's what David Schwarz said: "I think the social credit aspect is the most exciting. I don't think the world is quite ready for that yet." Remember, guys, this is 2013. "But over time, as new tools are developed and social rules change, social credit has the potential to completely change how people think about money. It will require social changes, but so did Facebook and texting. And those changes happened. In the long term, I'd like to see finance integrated into a social relationship rather than being an awkward secret. So that's very interesting, wanting that social credit aspect integrated into finance. Also, he's saying, we weren't ready for it yet in 2013, but eventually we would be ready for it. That is a pretty communistic approach, I would say. I don't know, maybe David Schwarz has changed his mind since then. Some people in the comments not surprised. Some people, it's funny because I was looking at this, I was wondering how people were going to react to this. Some people not surprised. Other people just kind of, stating it as fact. Some people tagging David Schwarz at Joel Katz on the X platform to see his response. But it does not look like David Schwarz has responded, at least not yet. So is David Schwarz a communist? Yeah, I guess the other thing we could say here is, again, this was from back over 10 years ago, 2013. Could he have changed his opinion since then? I mean, that's the other thing. Right? When we're faced with new trials and tribulations, factors, that life throw at us, generally speaking, our opinions tend to change just, based on our surroundings. So I don't know. Again, he even said here that the NSA was his role at the NSA is what got him into cryptography in the first place. He's been in cryptography now for over a decade, so I wonder if that position has changed or not. Nevertheless, wanted to thank Crypto Hulk for that interesting find there, and I am interested to hear if David Schwarz does have a response to this. Remember, guys, the powers that be are not your friend. And even though we hear the narrative, the tokenization narrative, putting everything on the blockchain, how that is going to be good for you and I, XRP holders specifically, especially if they're going to be using the XRP ledger for mass tokenization, trillions of dollars. We heard the CEO of, Axelar? Rodman, I think his name is, talking about, tokenizing trillions of dollars on the XRP ledger through Axelar. I know we get excited when we hear that kind of thing, but I wanted to just play this clip of Francis Hunt, the crypto sniper here. Vandal just recently did an interview with him. You can check out the interview on YouTube. I will link this in the description of the video for you. Tokenization is not your friend if it's in the wrong hands. Listen to this.
And this is Blackrock's game. They are really, really hungry. And Larry Fink is, while you'll say, I'm pro Bitcoin, what he's actually pro is the blockchain and tokenization so that you can transcend national boundaries. And everyone goes, that's good. I don't like national government. No, you're going up to a worldwide system, which actually is a worldwide government, where anywhere in the world, BlackRock can see who owns that house. And it has, as I say, a letting agreement preloaded, a bundle of documents, an automatic conveyancing system preloaded, and they get to proliferate the tokens so that they can buy everything out and turn everyone into a rentier society. This is extremely very much how they're going, and that ties into the you will own nothing and be happy. Hey, it's not on you. We'll do the garden. We'll look after all these services. You just rent. Nice, simple life. The laziness in people is encouraged. The fact that you can just sit back, don't worry, you don't need to own is cumbersome. You hear the narrative on Airbnbs, has no homes, but is a business. Uber has no cars, but is a taxi company. All of these elements, they're selling this idea, you don't need to own things. You don't need to own things. What they're actually saying is, we want your stuff. We want your stuff, and we'll be the owner, and you can be lazy slave boy who pays rent.
You can be lazy slave boy who pays rent. That is exactly what they want for us, guys. Do not be misled. BlackRock and Larry Fink serve the elites. They do not serve you. So, to that point that, social credit, the thing that was dug up here from David Schwarz saying social credit aspect is the most exciting part of the XRP ledger and, new developments on this. We've taken a bit of a dark turn over the last 4 years, I'd say since 2020. You know what happened in 2020? More information was exposed about organizations like the WEF, and cryptocurrency is at the center of this. It kind of started off as this fun kind of thing that us individual libertarians wanted to trade, but it's become something bigger. And for better or for worse, it is what it is. There are some positive aspects to it. There are negative ramifications that'll probably come up as well. So we just have to be prepared. I guess that's the biggest thing. It's coming and we can't really stop it. So what do? We have to be prepared. We have to have a plan. I'm going to be talking about that plan at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel for at least what I'm going to be doing with my crypto. You know, if you see a 15x or 20x, 50x, 100x move on some of your cryptocurrencies and you've turned, I don't know, $1,000 into $1 million, let's just say, you want to safeguard that. You want to make sure you have a plan to get out and to preserve that cryptocurrency accordingly. For more information on what I'm doing, you can find me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel, where I'm going to be talking in more detail over the coming months about my plan on how what I'm going to be doing, first of all, to prepare to off-ramp my cryptocurrency, because, it's not going to look the same for everybody. And, if you're one of those people who just are signed up for one exchange and it's Coinbase, I'd be a little worried. Anyway, for more information on that, you can find me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. I am also going to be doing a live Q&A session. I'm going to be doing it this Wednesday. For my Patreon subscribers, I'm going to be letting you guys in on some more details. Regarding the live Q&A session, I will be putting up a post today. So we do have to be concerned. And if we're worried, that's natural. We just should be prepared. I think that is the biggest thing we can do to combat the worry. Echoed the truth here on Twitter, posting this: with a massive increase to the M2 money supply of $73 billion, the dollar to silver and dollar to gold ratio just went up. So check this out, guys, within a day, okay? So today, if you guys are watching this video on the day that I'm recording it, is July the 29th, 2024. And look at where the supply is today. And now look at dollar to silver ratio and dollar to gold ratio. Okay, and what he's suggesting is that number jumped in just 24 hours. Okay, it was at 132 billion just 24 hours ago. Now it's at 205.1 billion, and even dollar to silver went from 263 to 406, and dollar to gold went from 1920 to 2963. So, I had to look at this for myself. I wanted to bring up the US debt clock, and I will link this all in the description of the video for you guys. Here is the US debt clock. As you guys can see today, that number still remains to 205.1 billion. And you can see the dollar to silver and dollar to gold ratios are remaining the same. But to take a look at what it was at just yesterday, I thought I would just post that URL here in Wayback Machine. Here, let me just grab that URL again and post it back in there, US debt clock. And this is a great resource here that shows us an archive snapshot of what certain websites were saying way back when. So I'm going to go to July 28th, 2024 down here, and we'll let that load for a second. Boom. Sure enough, guys, check that out. Dollar supply added 132.3 billion. And yeah, today 205 billion. And again, this is from just yesterday, July the 28th, 2024. And guys, we're seeing it the same thing with dollar to silver. Yesterday's price, $262 per ounce, and gold, $19.12 per ounce. Sure enough, today we're seeing it at $406 per silver and $29.66 for gold. So what does this mean? Dollar to silver ratio explained, guys. The dollar to silver ratio is calculated by dividing the total M2 money supply by the total amount of above ground silver. This gives a hypothetical price of silver per ounce if silver were to back all the money in circulation. However, the real-time price of silver isn't accurately reflected, so there are some stipulations with this. Due to the derivatives market, so particularly futures contracts, which involve significant paper trading that can suppress the price of physical silver. Currently, there are over 400 paper contracts for each ounce of physical silver. This happens because the volume of paper silver traded often vastly exceeds the actual physical silver available, allowing for speculative and manipulative activities to influence prices. If a large number of investors start buying physical silver, it could reveal the gap between the paper market and the actual supply. This surge in demand for physical silver could push prices up significantly, potentially overwhelming the suppressive effects of the derivatives market. So know what you hold, guys. If you do know me, you know I do also hold precious metals because, if we do go to a new financial system, if they are looking to tokenize, then they won't actually need the physical. You can tokenize gold, silver, anything really on the XRP ledger. And considering this is the way it's moving, it sure doesn't hurt to be prepared. We know cryptocurrency is going to be at the center of the economy at some point. As the debt gets higher, there's going to be more need for tokenization. And if Blackrock is moving in that direction, well, guys, they don't lose. So it bodes well for those who hold cryptocurrencies that solve problems, those who do hold XRP, and a handful of others. But that's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.